been spending a lot of my time on the little bit that I have had recently on what I'm doing, not when I'm at work. So that's part of the reason why I haven't been doing videos recently. But we are going to go over everything I did to this deck and how I did it. I didn't have the patience, and I don't have camera guys to help me. It's just me, so trying to film while I'm doing something is a big pain in the butt most of the time. But I did take pictures, so we're going to go over everything I did to this deck with pictures, and I'm going to explain what I did and everything. So it's not going to be video and all this, but we're going to go over the pictures, and I'm going to show you from the very beginning how I did it all and what it looked like at the end. So I have a little 16-foot pool, so I didn't want a huge deck with this. When I first thought about doing it, it was going to be like 5 by 7 or 4 by 6, somewhere around there. And when I ended up really getting into it and starting it, it turned out to be 6 by 7. So what I did is I figured out where my 4 main posts needed to be, got them in the ground, and poured concrete foundations for the posts to sit on. Got the post where I needed it and started the framing work. Got the boards going around it and level, and then started putting my floor joists in. And for anybody getting ready to ask, yes, I did put hangers on the floor joists. The floor joists on this, I did use 2 by 8s. And then once I got the framing work, I started working on the steps. I was going to do like enclosed steps, but it ended up not working out and I messed up a bunch of boards, so I ended up just cutting my own stringers. And the steps are 3 feet wide, so I used one in the middle as well. So I've got 3 stringers, and also the steps that I used were 2 by 6s. They're not regular decking boards. And when I first started making the deck, I just made a rectangle shape, got that how I needed it to be, and then cut more 2 by 8s on the sides to continue over to the pool, and then put cross boards in there to get closer to the pool. Got them right, put all the brackets I wanted to where it was good and sturdy on the corners of the deck, so I didn't have just deck boards sticking way out there with no support. Then once I got to that point, I put 2 more posts in the ground down at the bottom of the steps, because I am going to have railing all the way down on the steps. And I put dummy posts at the top of the steps. If you don't know what dummy posts are, or if you don't know what the wording means, you probably know what it is. People call it different things. I call it dummy posts. But it's a post that's attached to the frame sticking up for your railing that doesn't go all the way to the ground, because there's not a whole lot of need and that much support on here. There's no use in going all the way to the ground. So they're called dummy posts. The only purpose they serve is just for your railing. And when I did put these up, I did put lag screws on all the posts on here, and I put 2 in the dummy post just to make them more secure. Then once I got to that point, I started working on the decking boards. I did use regular decking boards. I wanted to use composite, but that gets a little expensive. But I did use composite on the top rail, which I'll show and talk about in a minute. So then I finally got all the decking boards done. The floor's completely done now. And then I started to work on the railing and a gate. And I then cut the post to 36 inches above the deck boards, which is how tall the railing is going to be. And then started working on the railings. I used 2x4s and regular 36-inch balusters. Finally got all of that done, and then I took the regular cheap ladder that I got when I got this pool and took it apart and took one side of the ladder off and used a wood drill and drilled into 2 decking boards where I wanted the ladder, and a drill size big enough for the tube of the ladder to fit in. I think it was 1 inch, and I was able to put it in the holes and tap it down in there so it's secure, and that way I don't have to undo anything. If I need to put the pool cover on, I can just pop it out of the holes and move it. And then the last thing I did to finish this deck off was a top rail, and I wanted to use composite. I usually use composite deck boards for my top rail. It is a little bit expensive. I think here in Virginia when I got mine, I got 8-foot length composite deck boards, and I had to get 5 of them. It was like right at $100, so they're expensive. You can imagine how much it would be to like do a complete floor on a deck. It does get expensive, but they'll pretty much never go away. I think it's made of recycled plastic and stuff like that, so it's not actual wood, so you don't have to worry about it aging or discoloring and breaking up and splintering. If you rub your hand across it, you don't have to worry about getting a splinter and stuff like that. That's the big reason I wanted to do that here. So that is the pool deck that I did. I have started on another project kind of like this that I might do a video on later. It's a much bigger project and stuff, but you might hear more about that in another video. But if you did find this video useful or interesting or anything like that, I'll probably do a video on the next one, so let me know down in the comment section below. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and be sure to consider getting subscribed to the channel, and do check me out on Instagram. I'm trying to post pictures on there all the time of anything that I've got going on, and a lot of it doesn't really make it to YouTube, so be sure to follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.